Joyce here with the Traveling Gamblers, and I am here with Jon. Hello, Jon.
Hello, Joyce.
And today is day 23 of 26 days living on the edge. Cruise ship, that is. Can't believe it's day 23. Wow,
Yes.
this is going fast.
And we still have quite a bit to go with
We
the
do.
rest of our trip.
We do. But for as
There's
far as the 26 days living on the edge, it's coming to an end. But we still have a couple days left. So let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday we got up in the morning. We got up around 8 o'clock and we did our morning daily video. And we went to breakfast at Luminae. We had an excursion booked and we had to meet in the theater at 10:15 for our excursion. So we had a very nice leisurely breakfast with Christina and Nelson, and it was very enjoyable. It was a nice way to start the day. We had an excursion. It was a tour and highlight of Sardinia and Cagliari in Italy, and we got on a very nice coach bus with a lovely tour guide.
And they gave us these orange radios where the tour guide had a microphone and we can listen to the tour through that once we got off the bus.
Yeah.
But they weren't that great. It was easier just to listen to her. Yes.
So it was like a little walkie-talkie kind of thing, and it had one earbud headphone, and when she spoke, we should be able to hear her. And it was actually easier to hear her without it than it was to hear her with it. Yes. So we did this tour, and the first stop was the Archaeology Museum, and that was very interesting, but it was very warm inside.
And it was a long walk up from the bus. It was kind of up on a
incline. It was maybe a 10-minute walk, and it was pretty straight up a hill. There was some people that were with us where one of the members of their party was in a wheelchair, and I really felt for them because it was quite the challenge, I think. But we did the tour of the Archaeology Museum, and then afterwards it was a walking tour for the first half, and we walked through the town down to the town center. And along the way, one of the places that we stopped was this magnificent church. And you can see the photos here of the inside of the church and the altar. And the thing that was unique about this was as we went down into the crypt, they had 3 different rooms. There was this one big room and then 2 smaller rooms. And all of the squares that you see here on the wall, they were all the people that were buried in there in the crypt. It was a little eerie, but it was so unique, different, and beautiful that it was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I told Christina and Nelson and Jon that I need to come up with a different adjective because I find myself using the word amazing on a constant basis. And everything here is just amazing. This trip has been phenomenal.
It is.
After we did that, we continued our walking tour and we walked through, and she spoke to us about some of the different history and things. And it was a very heavily bombed area in World War II. And a lot of the places had to be rebuilt, but they preserved as much of the original architecture as they possibly could. And when we got to the city center, we then had a half an hour of time on our own. Then we were going to be doing, the second half of the tour was going to be a panoramic tour on the bus. There weren't going to be any more stops.
So I had a mission. I wanted pizza, I wanted gelato, and we didn't have enough time for that.
We didn't. A half an hour wasn't enough.
So we asked the tour guide if we can separate from the tour, and she said, okay, but they just need our cabin numbers.
Yeah.
And we did that, and we found a nice restaurant, and we had some real Italian pizza.
Yes.
It was really good.
Yes.
And Italian beer.
So we chose 2 different pizzas, and one of these was a margarita pizza, and Papa Giorgio was the other one, and they were both very good. Yes. I personally like the margarita pizza better.
I like them both. So I had a little problem with the prosciutto.
Yes,
On
the
that,
prosciutto.
yeah.
Yes.
But then we also ordered. You ordered a latte, and I
Did.
ordered a cappuccino.
Yes.
Which was excellent.
Yes.
And
The latte was the best latte I've ever had in my whole life. It was amazing. Amazing. There we go again.
yeah,
Amazing.
well, amazing.
It was
amazing,
phenomenal.
Yes.
It was absolutely perfect.
Right.
I think it's very cool that they serve their lattes in a glass, not a cup. After we finished with our pizza and beer, we walked around a little bit and we did a little bit of shopping. And along the way, well, the second half of our tour was going to be a panoramic tour, so we decided not to do it, as we said earlier. And we forgot, it wasn't until after the bus left and we decided not to do it, we forgot that part of it was going to be, we were going to finally see flamingos. And we completely missed that part of the tour. But while we were shopping, we found this guy. Yeah, isn't that cute? So we decided to buy one because in Sardinia, the flamingos are a very big deal. It's a thing. We couldn't believe it that we're finally in Italy. Nelson has been looking for Italy, and Jon and Nelson have been looking for the flamingos. So we have this flamingo, and this guy is going to travel with us. And we were trying to come up with a name for our traveling flamingo.
Oh, yes.
And we decided on a name.
Yes. We're going to call him Nelly.
Nelly.
Yes.
Because we found out that
Nelson's nickname is Nelly.
some of Nelson's friends, I believe some of his closest friends, call him Nelly. So we have named our flamingo Nelly.
Yes.
Sorry, Christina. We tried to
Right.
come up with something, a combination name of Christina and Nelson, and we just couldn't find anything that worked.
Yeah, we were discussing it, but Christina didn't really care about whether we found flamingos or not.
Nelson did.
Nelson did.
So this is Nelly.
Yes.
And Nelly is going to travel with us now.
Yes.
From now on,
Yes.
everywhere we go, Nelly's coming with us. Right now?
Yeah. Yes.
And after we did some shopping, we found a gelato store.
It was recommended by a few people.
Yes.
Yes.
The waitress at the pizza restaurant said, Christina asked her, I think, where was a good place to get gelato, and she told us about her favorite spot. So we were then on a little bit of a hunt, and we found it. The name of the little gelato shop was Vanilla and Pistachio. And ironically, without even thinking about it, that's what I ended up getting. I got a half scoop of vanilla and a half scoop of pistachio, and it was phenomenal.
It was the best gelato I ever had.
It was delicious.
A mixture of rum.
Kind of hoping we can get gelato again tomorrow.
Oh, we will, definitely. Yeah. I had a mixture of rum raisin and cheesecake it was a blueberry cheesecake, but it was I don't know. It was really delicious.
That's a wacky combination, yes. I think.
It was really good though. I don't know why I picked those two flavors.
Rum raisin and blueberry cheesecake.
Yes.
I don't know. And after we had our gelato, we made our way back to the ship. We walked back to the ship, which was very easy, maybe a 10 or 15 minute walk, if that. And we came back to the ship, and we came back to our respective cabins. And Jon and I decided to call the Blue Chip Club from our cabin. And we wanted to move a couple cruises that we have booked because we have several that are overlapping, and we wanted to move some of them. So we ended up being on the phone with the Blue Chip Club for 2 hours. They answered after about 15 minutes, and they took forever to see if they could move these cruises, and they did. And we'll tell you about where they moved them to and what we did at another time. But that took a long time. Christina and Nelson were gracious enough to wait for us to go to dinner, and the four of us went to dinner at Tuscan last night, one of the 4 main dining rooms on the edge, and we had a lovely dinner, but it was very late for us. We didn't finish dinner until almost 9 o'clock last night, which was very unusual. I don't think I've ever eaten dinner that late, except for that one time we went to Eden with all of our friends.
Right.
But other than that, I don't think I've had dinner that late on a cruise ship ever. But nonetheless, dinner was very good. And after dinner, Jon and I went and hid some ducks, and then we came up to our cabin and called it an evening.
And then we had a phone call around midnight from our daughter Christina,
Yes.
and she wants to know, who is this Christina we talk about?
She said, and who is this Christina you refer to? Because her name is Christina. And so that was nice to have a conversation with her. We miss home, we miss our kids, we miss our family. And it was nice that she called and we were chatting for about a half an hour or so. It was only 6 o'clock where she was back at home. And we went to sleep, and here we are. And we will tell you about today tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate your support. And as always, we hope you have a wonderful day.
Say goodnight, Nellie.
Good night, Nellie.